Oh, damn. What a happy most of an hour. I mean, almost an hour. Happy almost hour.
Yo.
Man, I don't know what happened. We had a total tech meltdown. It's been a hot minute since we did it. And I called in Bryce, and then I derived a perverse sense of satisfaction. The harder he worked to fix it, the more I felt like it wasn't my fault.
What was the problem?
Still have no idea. We just rebooted everything, and then it didn't fix it. Then we rebooted everything again, and it did fix it. But we definitely, our days of mooching on our live switching setup, the vMix, are finally over. Thank you, Andrew Zarian, for letting us mooch on your key for 2.5, 3 years.
Aww.
But now I had to whip out the
official?
credit card and make a nearly 4-digit purchase so that we could go.
How exciting!
Yeah. Yeah,
Now
no, it's
you're
great.
Legit. You're street legal now.
Yeah, and then we couldn't launch, and then man, I read the news. I made the mistake of reading the news, and I made the double mistake of forwarding the story over to Bonnie because we've been talking about like, hey, what does it look like to safely restart life as normal? And then like over the weekend, and we talked about this on Friday, I was trying to say, hey, I'm not delivering an ultimatum, but just be thinking about under what conditions would you feel good about us going back to work here.
Wait, you talked with the internet?
No,
about
I
our
talked
private
with Justin. No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I might as well be talking to the internet. He knows what the internet would say.
Yeah.
But what Bonnie heard is, why are you throttling my business and killing me?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. No, what I really heard in Justin, I know
wait a minute.
you-
Wait, no,
I know you're listening.
ask Brian. That's what I told him you meant.
Yes. Oh.
That's yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
So
yeah, no,
I called
that.
Justin and I
Yeah.
said, am I the asshole? And I told him the story. And he said, you're the asshole, but not for what you said. You're the asshole for the order in which you said it. Because while you thought you separated two sentences with a period, they were still one right after another. So they
Yeah,
definitely came across as an ultimatum.
Without getting too far into it, if I remember correctly, there, and Bonnie, correct me if there are any addendums to the facts here as I was told them, but there are some business opportunities that could come down the pike.
Yes.
So, knowing that I'm totally in to go as fast as possible, when are you going to be okay with me going forward? This is Brian to you. And Brian read that as like, oh, okay, well, business, whatever. We can make it work or not make it work. Anyway, let's come to a consensus. And you read it as, hey, how long are you going to be the one thing that keeps our business from going?
No,
Like, can you go ahead and estimate me? Like, are we talking days, weeks that you're going to
That
be
was exactly
the stick
it.
in the mud?
That's exactly it. He was like, in my mind, I'm hearing, if our business dies, it's because of you.
Yeah.
And then the other part of me thought, well, maybe I misunderstood that. And he just really wants to sit in that restaurant and play fucking Hearthstone and eat wings.
Maybe all I
I'm
want to do
still
is
not
ask for
okay with
excuses.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'm like, no to Hearthstone.
It
And I
probably doesn't help that this happened just after we spent an hour celebrating that restaurants were opening, and I picked up the Pluckers, and we were talking about the fantasy of going into just any restaurant that we wanted to at any time. And I think that was also kind of brewing.
I was all like, look, things like, why are you taking unnecessary risks? You know, fuck with the condom. You know, it's just like, what are you doing?
So we realized that there's been a miscommunication, and then on Sunday we fully calibrate and we get on the same page, and we're like, man, I'm so glad we got on the same page. These are some of the things that proposals for possible ways to go back to work involving, testing and quarantining and having, like we talked about doing a 2-week season summer camp. What if all of us were in here? We tested on our way in, tested on our way out. Oh my gosh. Because, apparently some Hollywood institutions are doing all that. Feeling like, we're not there, but I can conceive of a beam of sunshine just around the corner. Yeah. Today, open up the news. Internal memo says death rate about to double next month.
Okay, so no, that's not the case.
Okay.
That's not the case. That was the weirdest thing, and it came out in the New York Times, and it was very like matter of fact that like, oh, this is internal CDC numbers by way of FEMA. It's on an official CDC slide, or a FEMA slide rather. And then the New York Times put it together with like quotes of like, all right, well, former health secretaries and this, that, and the other. That is totally inconsistent with all the other messaging, including the president during the town hall, which if he were trying to like get ahead of the fact that they thought this was going to, there's no way that even the erratic communication of the Trump White House would be like, super cool. Let's do our Get Back to Work special on Fox News last night, when tomorrow there's going to be news about that stuff doubling. The word is now that this was an internal model amongst many that was made like a month and a half ago. Like this is not current data, and it certainly doesn't correlate to when businesses reopen, because I think that's what made it this irresistible kind of story, is that obviously all this stuff is kind of happening now, but even then, the idea that we'd be going to 3,000 dead a day with New York calming down unless New York gets another massive infection.
So it was like, specifically because it was counterfactual that it exploded on the news cycle.
Yes. Yeah. So it was because, well, two things were kind of functionally wrong with it. Number one, it was portrayed as like, or it was reported as this is new, which according to sources 5 seconds afterward was not the case. And that it incorporated data about the reopening stuff. And either of those were the case.
So I've been thinking about it for a few hours, and whether it is or is not true, I would like to offer our official position from Bizarre Magic Inc. on this issue. That's me holding my breath. I'm just holding my breath.
There we go. Yeah.
That's our official position.
So wait, all right. So you guys wound up, because the last I heard about this was, I guess it was Friday. I assume it was right after Brian left, Bonnie, is that he just left, and then I don't know if there were any other calls before me, but
no.
I
You're
assume,
always
I mean,
the
as if there would be,
first
look, I only have
call.
2 wives.
You're
Come
always
on.
the first call. See, like, you know what? I'm just like going, man, Brian just goes around bitching about me.
No.
And like, I don't do that to all my girlfriends. And like, I am like really careful to not, except for when he licked the bar during a pandemic, then I totally let out on.
Oh boy, that definitely came up on Friday.
Yeah.
There was like that was her ace in the hole, where it's like we're talking about like, well, we just got to know when or whatever, and then just out of nowhere bursts out like and I could say this because my daughter has Tourette's. A Tourette's moment. Bonnie goes, "You licked a bar! You licked a bar in a pandemic!"
Yeah. I remember when we were talking on Friday, you said, and then Bonnie starts telling me about every dumb thing I've ever done. And every once in a while, whenever you yada, 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 stuff like that, you're just like, I'd kind of like to see in the box of like all of the dumb shit that she's brought up. Because like now that I've heard it, I'm like, man, I mean, like if we're going on judgment about how serious the pandemic's going to be, the fact that you licked a bar while it was ongoing is probably.
So the argument on Friday goes he goes like, okay, basically you're killing my company and I'm ready to go back to normal today. And then I'm like, I question your judgment because like you licked a bar, but it was more like you licked a bar.
Yeah.
So like, it was just like, this is too too much. Like, I can't
It's just-
trust
yeah.
you to like jump in full throttle the way I thought
That's
he
the-
was saying when
Yeah.
I can't trust his judgment because he's just like, well, the guys tell me to lick a bar. So I'm gonna lick a bar.
What am I gonna
because
not
it's-
lick a bar? Come
I'm
on,
not
they're gonna call me
doing it.
Chicken Bonnie. Don't you understand? They're gonna go barka barka barka.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's a million.
all the people whose salaries I pay are gonna call me a pussy.
I'm like, there's a million ways you could have done that. You could have like sanitized the bar before you done the shoot and then licked it, and gotten the Lysol in your mouth and all right. But like, there's a million ways you could have done that.
Look, the important
without-
thing. All right, look. Here's my takeaway from this entire past 15 minutes: is number one, I'm glad we're on the same page. Number two, I'm glad Justin got to peek in the box. Number three, I'm most importantly glad that that news story was bullshit. I'm very, very glad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the caveat beyond that is nobody knows. So it's like that, like the fact that somebody made at some point within the last 3 months a very negative prediction as to what's going to happen in the United
And it
States.
finally
Somebody in
bubbled
the
up
government.
after
Like-
theoretically we're on the other side of on the
Yeah.
downswing.
Mm-hmm.
That also doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means that prediction is made with, it was presented with faulty assumptions. At least in terms of, I think reasonably that the reader could understand.
Hey, remember we picked the hashtag putt putt over the weekend
Yeah.
or last week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, it got screwed up because ESPN the Ocho started carrying putt putt games because they can
Oh, really?
do that. Yeah, they did a bunch of silly games like dodgeball or whatever.
No.
And
Yeah.
that hashtag blew up. And at first I thought like, yeah, everyone complaining about how awesome putt putt is. What's going on here?
Yeah. No, ESPN's doing a bunch of crazy. They just signed Korean baseball.
Right on. Wait, is Korea like far enough past the pandemic that they're able to have big games and stuff?
I don't know if they're going to have crowds, but they're definitely going to play baseball. So that is now going to be on ESPN, but they're just looking for shit. I think that's the biggest thing, is that now we've gotten far enough into it that nobody really thinks that things are just going to go back, tomorrow.
Any minute now. Yeah.
And so it's like, all right, if it's not going to change tomorrow, then that means that every day we wait for content is content we don't have 3 months from now
To rerun.
Like if we were going to spin up a show and workshop it and get everybody, especially now with testing and everything, it's like, if we were going to do that, we just need shit immediately. Which brings me to this. If there's any network that wants a daily comedy show that can be broadcasted reliably, you know where to find us.
Yeah, our digits are up, and you'll find us. Don't worry about it.
You'll find us. Yeah.
What'd you do this weekend?
We not much. Just sort of hung out. I watched a bunch of things. I watched the Billy Crystal movie and then the Michael Jordan documentary. The Michael Jordan documentary is amazing because a lot of it is Michael Jordan just being unreasonably petty in the moment, and so they'll have this old footage of him just being really mean to somebody, and then they'll interview him currently, and he'll just be like, yeah. And he's mature. He has this wizened kind of energy. He's got a presence about him, and he'll just be like, yeah, someone said this other guy was better than me, so I really tried to ruin his career.
Holy crap.
They had this whole thing where this guy, Tony Kukoc, who's a Croatian, and Croatia's going through the Yugoslavian Civil War at the time, and it's the fucking dream team, right? 92, Barcelona, and apparently the GM of the Chicago Bulls, who is the Carol Baskin of this entire documentary. He is just the asshole that everybody fucking dumps on, and he seems like he should be doing a good job, and yet everyone fucking hates him. And so he's obsessed with Tony Kukoc. And he's like, oh, this guy, he's from Croatia. Oh, it's great. Tony Kukoc is maybe in his early 20s. He's fucking from a war-torn country that now is going to play in the Olympics against the United States. And Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen on the Bulls are just like, yeah, we just need to, like, they told all the rest of the all-stars on the team, everyone stay away. We're playing man-to-man. We're going to harass him and make him look like he's never played basketball before so we can have our GM look like an asshole. And it's like, no regards to the fact that, like, they're trying to ruin the career of a 20-something from a war zone.
Plus also the Olympics has historically especially been about being gentlemen around each other, and about, like, for a long time it was amateurs only and all that stuff. But it's like oh my God, that's
because this
brutal.
was the first time, and it wasn't going to be a shock that the U.S. was going to win because they had the best players on it, right? And the question was exactly how bad they were going to beat everybody. But Michael Jordan, an asshole who's learned very few lessons. Like, that dude is like, there's almost, he's so effortless at it. You find yourself rooting for him, and then you're like, what the fuck? Like, what is even like who is this guy? And it just happens over and over and over again. And he just keeps mentioning it in his wizened state. He's like, yeah, someone said Clyde Drexler was better than me, so I really wanted to embarrass him on the biggest stage possible. Like, this 22-year-old Ukrainian kid was a Croatian kid.
He full on Scott Tenorman's this kid for nothing.
Yeah. No, and it happens over and over and over again. He's like, yeah, this team thought they were good, so I tried to really embarrass them. And it's like, wow, there is just one recurrent theme.
So, did you see the headline? I've not seen the video or the story, but did you see the headline about Carole Baskin over the weekend?
No.
Oh my God. I have some entertainment news for you.
Oh.
Let me go to news.google.com.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to type in Carole.
So after watching that, how, like, on the good meter, on morally corrupt, like, is he going to the good place or the bad place? Like, what's happening here?
No, I think he would have some problems in the moral, although I forget exactly the Byzantine way that they ended the show, but I don't know if he would immediately ascend to the good place. Certainly a tremendous role model, and he's actually, like, fairly transparent on that. He's like, you know, I'm an example. I try to put everything I have into being a good basketball player. I did. So if you take an example out of that hard work and ethic, then that's good. Beyond that, literally look to me for nothing. Like, I am not anything beyond a guy who really, really worked hard.
But do you know
at one thing?
That's really interesting, because that's essentially what the sadness about having heroes is, that there's people. And so, you know, like remember,
but that's also the joy of having heroes, because occasionally they're teller. Usually they're pen.
This is true.
I say that with all affection. All right, entertainment news headline. Ready?
Yep.
Tiger King's Carole Baskin got pranked into a fake Jimmy Fallon interview, her first interview since the Tiger King debuted.
Oh my God.
They apparently, it's a YouTube prank channel that just played a bunch of clips of Jimmy Fallon and tricked Carole Baskin. Is this the first
interview you've done since the show?
It's the first public interview I've done.
So one person is pretending to be a producer for the Tonight Show.
The start of lockdown.
Who cares? Who cares? We get it. You send an email. You fished. Yes, we're all very nervous. You found clips. Let me guess. Commercial break right before you actually show us the thing.
Wait, so can you do that without
too much?
Something every husband wants.
Can you do what?
Can you, like,
lie to people and get them to think that they can you fish them? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
And
it's just a prank, bro.
And, like, they get to air this and make money off of her. Like, they sold ads.
I mean, just like if you're a news person, you get to record 9/11 and then sell the footage to whoever you want.
Yeah, it really depends on depending on what she signed, if she signed anything.
Oh yeah.
She might have a case to DMCA it and get it taken down. And then if she really wants to go through the time and effort, she might sue them for whatever hundreds of dollars that they've gotten in YouTube AdSense revenue, but like in general, you usually just have to fucking eat that one. And
They
apparently, I'm seeing right here that apparently she's just gone and taken their cats.
all right.
So.
That was something that the Borat people had to worry about. Like they put a bunch of like Cyrillic in the stuff. Like that was an ironclad document that somewhere in there barely mentioned like Fox Studios.
Yeah.
Everything else was just a mishmash of like very difficult to understand stuff. All right, here we go. Let's see this.
We love you. How are you?
I'm doing great. My daughter Jamie suggested that I do this interview with you, so she says hi. And we are
That was a weird
working
take.
every day with the cats at the sanctuary.
Are you with family now, or are you?
Oh, so this is still
Animals are
pretending to be
still-
the producer. Get to the part
No,
where you
no, no,
play.
no, no.
That's amazing.
Okay.
So many cats depending on us. We don't have a choice.
Well, they're just playing
in this
audio.
Situation.
Yeah.
got a lot of animals back there.
Yes, we have 55 exotic cats, about 19 bobcats and 10 tigers and a lion, jaguar, leopards, cougar, lots and lots.
Oh my goodness, lucky! Wow!
A lot of hungry mouths to feed. And
Were you all set for the quarantine? Were you fully stocked? Do you have all your supplies?
thankfully, we were able to fill up our freezers. We can store about 20,000 pounds of food at a time.
It is a lot of work, though, right? I mean, it's packed. Do you have any time off?
I work 7 days a week, but I'm a workaholic, so I really love doing
Wow,
this
they
work.
they effectively have simulated a really boring interview.
Yeah,
After
right.
COVID-19, I just don't know if we're ever going to be able to do tours again.
Okay, that's amazing. Carol kindly said.
All right, anyway. Good for
right.
you, assholes.
Wow, they got content. out
What's
of that.
next? You gonna fake an erotic fiction novel? You pieces of shit.
I know.
I
know.
guarantee you that
I can't
novel
wait.
has
They
brought-
learned it on How the Modern Rogue.
Yeah.
Faked erotic
Oh,
fiction
yeah.
novel.
That was so fun to tell that story. How did that land with you? Oh no! Were you displeased?
Would have liked a heads up. You know, that would have been nice to have a heads up.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. I didn't know that would be a thing because the original article was on literary hoaxes, and we got through the first two. It's like, well, I should tell this story, the same story that I've told a million times.
The only thing that was like a little twinge was how we faked an erotic fiction novel. The headline on the Modern Rogue channel.
That was title mongering because it's like I couldn't think of any. I mean, it's very clear if you watch it that Jason had nothing to do with it, and it was you and me. The non-inclusive we.
Yeah, you know.
I mean,
Oh.
would it be better how I?
Fairly far
I mean,
into it.
I
mean, again, it's just one of those things. Would have been nice.
That's interesting. Yeah, I guess I should have thought that through because definitely would have been worse to say I. Yeah. All right. Well, mea culpa. I owe you 5 chicken wings.
That's fine. I actually texted Bryce and I was like, "Hey, should I be upset about this? Should I hit Brian with it?" And he was like, "Nah, it's mostly just it's just title foo or whatever." And so I just kind of left it there. But if you wanted to ask me directly, then
Well, I
I'll
mean,
let you know.
look, man, you and I, we've talked about this on the show where it's like we've seen the sports injuries that can explode when we don't when we don't disclose little twinges. So I'm glad that I even asked.
He's
Yeah.
just saying that if his business fails, it's because of you.
Well, that's the other thing is like it would have been it would have been different if this were regular times and there was a billion things that you guys could have done. And I know that you guys were in a crunch for content, and a lot of things are probably going faster with less polish than they would if you guys were just operating normally. So yeah, it wasn't
Well,
wasn't too
plus
big.
also we were supposed to actually run a different episode on Friday, and it wasn't ready, and so that one was mostly done, and so John worked through the night and then just ran it to get it up to speed. We ran it on a Saturday, which is not the best day for us anyway.
Yeah.
So that definitely was a rougher launch, and normally that definitely would have been something that I hope I would have had the sense to double check in on.
Yeah, man. No, it was a good episode though.
Yeah, I was surprised at learning the parallel about that WOR disc jockey, the dude who was doing the overnight graveyard shift. That obviously we had modeled what we were doing on Naked Came the Stranger, but I hadn't realized that maybe you remembered that iLibertine thing, but I had forgotten all about that.
Naked Came the Stranger was based off iLibertine, so like they were doing the same. I mean, much in the same way that we were modeling off them, they were modeling off iLibertine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was the
one thing I was really worried about, and it just came out because I was trying to convey that NSFW didn't have a earth-shattering audience, and so I said a sleepy tech network, and I'm like, when I saw it later, I'm like, man, I hope that doesn't look like shots fired, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's for the majority of the people that are watching that have never heard that story before. I don't even think that they would know what the fuck you were talking about.
Yeah, that's why I didn't.
I don't think that most people would even know that. Most people who watch Modern Rogue probably don't even know that you have a podcast, let alone a podcast that used to be on, a tech network.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, shit, TIL. What else is going on? Made the kids. I tricked Penny into watching 3 whole pieces of content with me on Saturday. Each one began with, "You don't have to watch the whole thing. You just have to watch the first 10 minutes."
Yeah.
She's wise to you, by the way.
Rank in order what you think Penny liked the most and least between Moon from Duncan Jones,
yep,
Men in Black 1,
okay,
and the 25-minute, I think, or 25-minute YouTube video Kung Fury.
I'm going to say, man, this is a hard one because there's the world in which Moon is the only non-super frenetic of the choices. And so maybe she's more into
it's the most intellectual of the 3, right? It's the one that has the most thoughtful story to tell.
Yeah. Whereas like Kung Fury is like, that's really,
it's
kind of
super gross, over the top, exploding bodies.
Yeah. Yeah. And that doesn't seem like her thing. So I'm going to put Kung Fury at last.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that it is Moon and then Men in Black.
Okay. Moon, then Men in Black, then Kung Fury.
Yeah.
Penny got sucked into Moon. Did not like that she was made to cry. Did not like that the mean corporations were the bad guys. Did not like that she was made to feel sad. Fun fact, Josie recognized that that one of the 2 suits that they talked to on planet Earth from Moon is one of the vampires in What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, wow.
It's Matt Berry, who plays, he's married to Nadja. What's his name? Not Nandor, but the other one. Oh my God. It's so amazing because once you hear it, he's like, "Sam, you're doing an amazing job. We're making so much money on this helium-3.
I just hear from I hear from across the house. Oh, I know that guy. And you're like, yeah. Well, we're just watching,
Laszlo, that's his name. Yeah.
It's just like, no, he's.
So last place is Moon, and keep in mind it's a good last place because she was digging it.
Yeah.
Second place goes to Men in Black, where again.
So wow, I got it opposite.
Yeah, she that first 10 minutes of Men in Black, it very quickly sets the tone and then sticks with it the entire movie long. It holds up, man. The CGI is garbage, but in terms of the idea that they're going for, it doesn't hurt that we definitely just finished watching Lonesome Dove, and the same character who is the grizzled old man who drove cattle to Montana is this, goofy government operative or whatever. Penny lost her goddamned mind when I showed her the Men in Black music video. She kept screaming like, "Is this unironic? Is this unironic? What is happening? For serious, people were supposed to think this was cool. What is happening?" And
Super cool.
from
Big
that,
Willie style.
from
Big
that,
Willie weekend.
from that, that led her to see the first 30 seconds. I was like, you only have to watch the first minute of Kung Fury. Fucking Penny's head exploded. Like she was just like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like right up to when Hitler shows up and he pulls out the giant phone and he goes boop 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 boop. And he's like, "Hello, is this the police?" And he's like, "Yes." And he goes, "Fuck you," and starts shooting the gun into the phone, which shoots the bullets out of the phone and stuff. Oh goddamn. And Hitler giving his speeches, and his speeches consist of, "I am the greatest at Kung Fu. I am the best." It was very good. It was a very, very good day.
Was that an upset for you that she was into those?
I wouldn't have believed it at all because she doesn't like gross things, right? But I think Kung Fury does a good job of striking that tone where it's so cartoonish that she just, went along for the ride.
Like if there's no blur between the line of not self-deception. What is it? Disbelief.
Uh-oh. Under pressure now.
Oh, I know. The
Discipline?
disbelief.
The
line of disbelief.
Wait, the line of disbelief.
Yeah, that's a new term.
Oh wait.
It's called
Now I
line-
know what you're referring to, but I can't access it. God damn it. I can't
The suspension of
disbelief. Okay,
Yes,
got it.
yes. So like if it's not challenging for her at all, then now she is adopting the sense of more grown up stuff in a way that, as long as she's not tricked into thinking.
As long as there's detached irony,
Yeah.
she's a lot better okay with it.
Yeah, like she's like totally digging dirt gently, and so like she's embracing some of this content in a way.
She's not in it the way you are with like Moon or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But she especially loves ridiculousness. Like she is like landing on like the sense of Dadaism that happens in some YouTube content, where it's just so ridiculous. And so like, how does this even come together? And
yeah.
So I think that Kung Fury lands there.
Yeah, and even if she did, and I don't know, like I've shown her enough old stuff to sort of like for her to get, she knows that a Lamborghini is a 1980s thing, and she understands. I think she loves intentionally shitty writing. Like there's that one moment in Kung Fury where he's remembering being with his partner, and he high fives his partner. He's like, "You're the best partner. I think of you like my dad," and then he immediately gets cut in half, and she dug all that shit.
I mean, Kung Fury is such great timing. It's just so fucking funny.
Yeah, am I remembering right? Where it's like they actually were trying to go for a full feature, but they couldn't quite raise the money on it on Kickstarter, so they ended up at.
Wait, didn't they? Didn't they do it?
Well,
They
I think
didn't get to the full
they were.
feature?
It was one of those things where their stated goal is, as always, $10,000, and we'll claim success. But then somewhere down the line was a full 2-hour feature. And so then they ended up only as far as getting a music video from David Hasselhoff.
Oh, no.
seriously?
Kung Fury 2 apparently has shot.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Kung Fury 2? That's amazing.
Did you say
let me
Kung
see if I can-
Fury?
I did. I got too excited and I couldn't get it out.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very different video.
Shortly after release of the short film in February 2018, the project began to come together. The filming began in July 2019 in Bulgaria and Germany. And on September 25th, the official Laser Unicorns Instagram page confirmed that Kung Fury 2 had wrapped filming.
That is amazing.
So there is a movie. Whether and when and where we will see it, up to the imagination.
Wait, I've got entertainment news.
Whoa, do you?
I do.
What you got?
I was trolling with my thumbs through the internet and came across something saying that AMC is not going to have Universal.
Yeah, dude. They're pulling a little tit for tat. Universal says we released Trolls 2. Yeah, that's probably why you said troll. We released Trolls 2 and made all the money. As our read on it is that their crime wasn't saying we did it on VOD and it did just fine. Their crime was specifically mentioning, what was it, nearly $100 million that they made on VOD, specifically implying we don't need movie theaters anymore.
Well, just saying that we will premium VOD will be a part of our business plan even when theaters are back. And that is just open-ended enough, like that the theaters took that as a direct fuck you that you're going to do day and date with movies that we want to be exclusive.
So am I getting this right? The theaters were like, we're just saying that if our business goes under, it's your fault.
Oh, yes, they delivered an ultimatum. That's right.
See that, yeah, you know. So, I think that is ridiculous to play out in such a public way. Because
I mean, there's no other way to do it, though.
I mean, like
that's sort of the. I mean, this is international politics right here. It's like you can't directly believe anything anyone says behind closed doors, but you could definitely believe what their actions are saying. And they definitely chose to release, which is understandable with the pandemic. And they definitely they did not need to strut with those numbers, but they chose to. And so AMC, feeling powerless, is like, well, let me show you what true power looks like.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, this is a negotiation. And Universal was they knew from the second that they released Trolls 2 that they could either hurt their relationship with the people they made it with by not making a big deal if it made a bunch of money, or they could use this as leverage against the theaters, because at a certain point things are going to be back to closer to normal than they are now. They've been fighting with the theaters about day and date releases forever. The studios would love to go to day and date immediately. They would love to just say, all right, theaters, what's your price for us to do day and date? Maybe we even sweeten the pot a little bit more for you. Give you another, time that you can run this for a reduced price. But we want to do day and date. And the theaters believe that will just kill their business. That an already struggling business, even more struggling now that you might die going into their facility, will be hurt even further.
Keep in mind also, they got fresh wounds because the movie theaters have been killed before. They were killed when television showed up, and all of a sudden they became filthy, dens of heroin usage or whatever, and dollar cinemas showing crappy presentations. And granted, we hit a point where there was kind of a renaissance where we thought of movie theaters as places for high quality presentations, but in their heart of hearts, they know that exclusivity is what will get butts in those seats. And if they're going to be robbed of that, they're going to, there's a legit reason why everybody would fight against it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's, and even if they know day and date is coming, everything is a negotiation. And so if Universal is going to say, hey, we'll continue to do things like this in the future, then their opening statement is, how about we never run any of your movies ever again? And now they will come together. There's going to be a deal to be made here. Really, the big
they're like the Khrushchev in this. Like they're all like, hey, we made a lot of money, and suddenly their shoes out on the table, they're slamming it, shouting, we will bury you.
I mean, let's be honest. The movie theaters exist only for teenagers to make out. They go watch the English.
And that used to be true, but now you got all these big old lazy boys. They'd have to crawl a mountain over to get to each other. Screw that.
Also, that's the thing, Bonnie. Have you seen what movie theater tickets are these days? Like, you don't need to pay like $25 a piece to make out. You can find somewhere cheaper.
Yeah, it's not called movie theater and chill.
Aw.
Yeah, no boy will ever be allowed in my house.
Really?
It's the only way.
God.
All right, we're at the top of the hour. Sorry, it's a shorter happy hour this week, but man, that Tech Foo really fooed us. Tech Fury 2 coming to a movie theater near you, but not AMC.
No.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you to everybody for joining us. As always, again, apologies for the delay. We'll see you guys.
See ya.
Cosmic